Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that are hoping we're fighting today. So thank you for wherever you came from for being here. I'm going to be a little bit of a youth activist, so please bear with me in some of my remarks today. But I wanted to point out some things that we can do together as advocates for this throughout the year. So again, my name is Jason Goodman. I'm a student at the University of Pennsylvania and the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Student Equality Coalition. PSEC represents our statewide LGBT youth organization. We work as a coalition of high school and college GSAs across the Commonwealth, working on safe schools issues and general LGBT equality issues. I'm here today as a queer youth identified young Pennsylvanian working with youth across the Commonwealth who are invested in this fight, and also helping lead effective advocacy moving forward. We know our generation, young Pennsylvanians, are well advanced on LGBTQ civil rights and marriage equality. For many young Pennsylvanians, whether Republican or Democrat or however they identify politically, young folks, this is a non-issue. So I also come before you today as a lobbyist on LGBTQ issues. And every day that I'm working in Harrisburg, working to promote legislation, we're working to an affirming Commonwealth, one that represents values of inclusivity and equality. So from myself and the youth leaders that we bring down on a regular basis from Erie and McKean counties and Berks County and Bucks County, and everywhere in between, we are fighting for this, and we know the front lines well. So from the front lines, we found that the best strategies we have are to be absolutely calculated and strategic in completing successful action. So that means that today is part of that fabric, and it's fantastic that everyone's come out today to be visible and to share our stories and to share where we're coming from, but it's about mobilizing that towards votes. So waiving our general support is fantastic, but we have to do much more beyond today, and I think that's been reiterated several times before. The legislature
Dude, I can't see the screen on this thing.
But the messages that we're sharing can be taken home.
Nope. I tilt it one way, I see the pink on my shirt.
We deploy ourselves as troops in this struggle and have community oversight now. We need to remain focused that to win will take 26 votes in the Senate, 102 votes in the House, and supportive government. And we have to remain vigilant in getting those votes for our cause for social justice. So, through all this, and personally working full-time on LGBT equality in there, I found the biggest challenge is not necessarily our opposition, the radical right, because frankly, we're never going to be able to attain their support. They are very grounded in what they believe, and that is correct. And on the other hand, we can spend much time mobilizing our base and celebrating in the streets all the time, but those are folks that generally we already have our support. And at times, they can be, some of that activity can be posturing and just cycling our wheels. I think our biggest challenge is within ourselves. It's actually taking the next step from visibility to action. Our success in Pennsylvania is not going to be captured by any statewide organization or any label that we ourselves in terms of what we do. Us as individuals contacting our legislators is going to be us as individuals rallying our troops in our communities to influence. Because Pennsylvania is very state. When we write a letter, it generally pops up in the email box of the legislature. And these messages get to them. The more they see that people from their districts are caring about these issues, the harder it becomes to go forward. So we have to remember that every action counts. In terms of broad-based community action, where individuals can start change, what we have to focus on are courageous conversations. So whether that's at the dinner table with your family in from out of town across the state, or at the general store, at the civic association, bring up these issues as fundamental to enriching your community. We know that laws alone will not secure what we seek. That will also be communities progressing on these issues, and helping for social fabric as well to support those policies. We don't need more lawsuits and more lawsuits, although that frankly helps keep some policies in line. We need to have both the social progress and the policies put in place. So, if we have a majority of Pennsylvanians supporting dignity of all, compassion will run through this General Assembly.
That's right.
The process must also foster the fire of our community spirit, so that through organizing, beyond any activity that we participate in this, our resilience and our inclusivity will prevail to ensure every voice is welcome and heard at the table. And together, we can make a better table. So whatever happens next week, or whatever great decisions come out, not much at all will probably change in Pennsylvania. Next week, we would ask that you call your legislator, which is very easy again. Visit them during the July recess when they're in the district, and take a convincing case for what issue you're pressing them on. Do research, come prepared, and share your story. And they will listen. That is their job, after all. So, with one step at a time, with one change and one vote, we'll take a step forward. And we're going to take another step forward. And we're not going to stop until we're done, right? As we talked about before, the main bill for marriage equality right now is the Senate. SB 749. How many co-sponsors do you think we have right now? On that bill? Senator Leach, who's my state senator, has introduced the bill. We only have 5 out of 50 senators. There is no reason we should not have at least 20 members on that bill right now. So, if you live in a district that you think you can start to advocate on that specific bill, great. We are, pending some advocacy in the House as well, so that's coming up the pipeline. But we know, looking at other states over the past year, this is a nonpartisan issue. So, let's work together in a nonpartisan way. I guess just to wrap up, I would like to preface to define ourselves not by how we exist in geographic pockets across the state, but to bind each other to Pennsylvania and improving our Commonwealth for everyone. The movable middle and the moderates are waiting for our message. So let our message be clear. We are working for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for everyone, regardless of who they are. So let's work together, Pennsylvania, for our home. Thank you.
Okay, before we bring up our next speaker, if I could just remind everybody that we have water over here.
How do you stop it? You press the center button.